Apple's next event is drawing near. The company even sent out this snazzy invitation that we will dissect for funsies. Such bright colors. So what are we expecting at Apple's event on March 4th? A lot of new hardware and maybe some new software tricks. Why would the company hold an event around the same time as Mobile World Congress, the biggest mobile show in the world? Because Apple wants one more thing, your attention. You might be thinking, Bridget, you look awful. That's because I'm Ayaz Akhtar, and for this week only, I'll provide your Apple report. You and I have seen so many posts about what Apple's working on, so which things can we expect for the March 4th event? Let's start with Apple's official invitation, shall we? First up, we've got an Apple logo, but it's not just any Apple logo. It looks like it's made up of little colorful glass discs. What could that possibly mean? Laptops. How did I arrive at this conclusion? It's because I watched this show and I've heard Apple's working on new MacBooks that could use iPhone chips like the A18 found in the iPhone 16 Pro. The idea is simple. Use lower-end materials to produce budget-friendly laptops to compete with the Chromebooks, which usually cost under $500. This could get Apple products in more markets, including education. But back to the glass discs. In Mark Gurman's Power On newsletter, the reliable source said that these laptops will come in colors, including yellow, green, and blue. Check that Apple. Yellow, green, and blue. That seems like a pretty good hint, but what about the glass part? It could be a nod to the liquid glass look found in the latest versions of macOS and iOS. That's probably what it's all about, but I'm a dreamer, people. I hope that Apple brings back an older look. Way back in the aughts, Apple sold iBooks, which are like MacBooks now, but they were iBooks then. These less-than-pro devices featured a polycarbonate shell which looked a bit like glass. Maybe Apple will embrace the plastic colorways of the iPhone 5C. If Apple uses an iPhone chip to power a Mac, what's stopping iPhones from becoming Macs? Just plug in an iPhone to a monitor and keyboard for a mini Mac in your pocket. That'd be silly. Or would it be the greatest idea of all time? The invite also says, please join us in person for a special Apple experience. An experience? What does that mean? Does one experience hardware? Experience would almost imply a new way to use something. What needs the most freshening up? Siri. No, I'm not gonna rag on Siri. I mean, it's not Bixby, am I right? Actually, Siri is not as good as Bixby in my experience. Anyway, Apple and Google are working together to help power future Apple Intelligence features, including a more personalized Siri. This is no rumor. The companies announced this partnership in January. Maybe we'll see a carefully controlled demonstration that accurately represents what the new Siri can do, because Apple does not want to get sued again for misrepresentations and/or misleading statements related to Apple Intelligence. But what about Apple's budget phone, the iPhone 17e? I'm glad I asked me that. Apple's E line provides you with just enough Apple stuff to get you hooked. Maybe the E stands for economical? Rumors are abound saying the iPhone 17e could be introduced on March 4th. What's the iPhone 17e like? Officially, we know nothing, but there are reports out there. It's a safe bet that the iPhone 17e will get a processor bump. The iPhone 16e uses an Apple A18 chip. Mac Atakara says to expect the Apple A19 chip inside the 17e. You wanna talk modems? I know you do. The 17e is expected to include Apple's C1X modem, which is 2 times faster than the original C1. The iPhone 16e supports wireless charging, but not MagSafe. There's a chance that the 17e may support MagSafe. This would make the iPhone 17e compatible with a whole new world of accessories. But wait, that's not all. There's an additional item. One more thing, get it? An additional item. That's the joke. The regular iPad could get a processor upgrade, which lets it support Apple Intelligence. Yay! Will we see a Siri-powered smart display? Never say never. Could we see the resurrection of the iPhone mini? Why do I keep asking myself these questions? I should be asking you. What do you want to see from Apple at this event? I mean, experience. Congratulations on sticking around. Next week, Bridget should be back with one more thing to talk about.